Here in America, we have a two-party system. Democrats and Republicans. We treat it like a sporting event where we pit one against the other. You pick your favorite side and nobody wins. It's really a great way to get nothing accomplished. That is, unless something comes along that's so disgusting, so egregious, that the left and right will join forces in perfect harmony, cast a bill, vote it into law that states, TikTok, get the fuck out of America. You fired. That's right, the House, the Senate, and the President all signed off on TikTok going bye-bye in 12 months. They have 1 year. They have 1 year. The countdown has started for this Chinese-based company ByteDance to sell off this property, sell off this application to someone in America. Someone that knows how to do things honestly. Or something, I don't know. Let's rant about it. I'm on the talk, kind of. I post my main channel, Adam Does Movies. I do clips over there. They're kind of trash for the most part. I think it's all kind of trash for the most part. YouTube shorts aren't really my thing, but a lot of people love them. A lot of people love these 10-second to 1-minute micro bursts of information, these dopamine hits they can get, where they find something funny, a hot chick shows up, you scroll past, and then you go back to it for a double take. Then you scroll past again, and then you see like someone playing some music, and then someone falls off a skateboard and you laugh, but you don't have time to like dwell on it because there's other things to look at all the time constantly. And as you do this, the algorithm's watching and learning and adjusting. Ooh, Adam spent 5 seconds on this video. That's noted. Next one. Ooh, he only spent 1 second on that one. We're gonna toss out all related videos of dogs on unicycles playing the bagpipes. He's not interested in that. But he is very fascinated by this old man getting hit in the groin by a football on repeat. He's watched it like 50 times. Let's give him more old men getting hit with objects in the groin. He loves it. You know who doesn't love it? The government. They're not happy that these Chinese bastards are able to see what us Americans are looking at, because that data is worth gold to them. They can do things with it. They can leverage it. They can brainwash us. They can maybe interfere with our elections and tell us which way to vote and who to vote for and why America's bad. And they start poisoning the well. And they do all sorts of shady shit that normally we Americans would do to each other. That's not their job. That's the job of Google. That's the job of Facebook. You may have heard of a little thing called the Patriot Act. Yeah, we passed that a long time ago. That allows the government to spy on us, flag us, do whatever they want to us, really. So this isn't really a case of it's best for us individual folks. It's more or less what's best for the government officials, so that they don't get slandered online, or there isn't a bunch of propaganda that lies about one party or the other, picks a side, that sort of thing. Now, if you were to ask me, Adam, do you trust the government? I would say, kinda, little, no, somewhat, no, not at all, kind of, yeah, a lot, no. I'd be all over the place, because if we have no faith or trust in the system at all, then really, what are we doing? You know, at the end of the day, you shouldn't trust anything. There's no reason to partake in any of it, the voting, all that stuff. I do look for the best in people, and I try to think, ignorantly so, that people in positions of power are going to do what's best for the population at the end of the day, but they're not. There's special interest groups everywhere. Every bill that gets passed, every vote that gets cast, it rhymed, it didn't need to, but it did, is done for a reason. Do I think politicians are evil? You know, it's a loose definition. It's hard to define what is evil, what is good. You know, it depends on what you're looking at for those definitions. Do I think that they're corrupt? Yeah, in a sense. I think that there is a lot of, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. I'll vote on this bill because I'm going to get money in my pocket sort of a thing. Not all of them. I do think there are good apples too, or I think that there's people that are skirting the line, or they're at least trying to play ball to a degree. They're trying to have their cake and eat it too. So when we circle back to this TikTok fiasco, it's kind of like their word versus nothing. Evil boogeyman China has access to all our data, and the fact that my wife watches a whole bunch of cat videos. Do with that what you will, I suppose. maybe there really are a lot of red flags, and we aren't privy to know that because, again, we are not part of the national intelligence. We don't see what the big higher-ups do. It's above our pay grade, sort of a thing. But it would be nice if there was a bit more transparency behind it, especially when you are taking work away. You are taking livelihoods away from people that, believe it or not, are making a living wage on TikTok because of sponsorships. There are influencers on the platform, and I've seen a couple of them, and they're very talented individuals that have carved out a niche, and they've made a name for themselves. They've got sponsored deals. Hell, that blonde happy chick, Kelly, I think her name is, that dances around all the time. I just saw her in ads on TV. She got like a big commercial deal with someone. I think it was like a copy or like Kinko's copies or some shit. I don't know. Obviously the advertising worked because I just remember her dancing around. It was colorful. I don't remember the product. Office Mate? I don't know. But good for her. And there are a ton of people just like that. Comedians. I've seen some really funny improv troupes on TikTok and on YouTube Shorts. And so there are people there that are finding a voice. They're finding a platform to get out in front of others. And that's great. That really is great. Even if I don't really like the app that much or use it very much, I just kind of shit out videos once in a while, and maybe I'll try to do something unique on there and it'll fail and then I'll cry and be upset. But I think that there's a place for it, obviously, and I think that you are really screwing people over by doing this bill and saying, hey, you guys are now going to have to go to YouTube Shorts, which is essentially the same thing, but because it's owned by Google, who has an incredibly shady past as well, that's fine because it's in-house spying and not out-house spying. I don't know. I think the biggest irony in all of this is we rely on China for a ton of our products. The phones we're watching TikTok on are made in China, in giant factories, probably by underage slave workers. That's fine. We'll look away from that because corporate America is awesome. Subscribe for capitalism. If we don't trust China with a social media app, why the hell are we getting behind a wheel of one of their cars they make? Now I'm a little concerned. I'm a bit concerned. My car's from China. Is that thing going to drive me off the road as soon as it wants to? Do. Man, I love being an American. America's on... What the... Cut to a guy in China taking his hand off the button. You can call me naive. You can call me dumb if you want. That's okay. I'm not losing sleep over this. It was a topic that came up. It was fascinating to me because as an outsider who's not in the government and doesn't see all the reports coming in from the officials at the Pentagon, I don't know the severity of TikTok. It does seem like there's a bunch of wars going on though, and a bunch of other things like crazy house prices and food prices and other stuff that Congress, that government could be focusing more important time onto. But whatever, TikTok's the main thing. We got to get TikTok done with. I want to hear from you though. Are you happy that TikTok is getting this 1-year ultimatum, either sell to an American company or go bye-bye? Or are you like me and you think, really? This is what we're doing right now? I'm concerned about anyone spying on us, and it sounds like everyone already is. My TV's listening, my phone's listening, my fridge is probably collecting data for all I know. It's all there already. The part I go back to is they're screwing with people's jobs, they're screwing with people's livelihoods, and you can laugh and you can say those aren't real jobs anyways. I mean, okay, sure, that's fine, but it is work. I consider what I do work on YouTube. It takes a lot to film these things, to edit them, to market them, to get them out there. It's hours upon hours of work for, believe it or not, very little revenue. In fact, my second channel here, Adam Does Rants, isn't making a dime. It hasn't made a dime yet. It has to hit certain thresholds before YouTube will say, okay, here's your pile of pennies. Good job. And I do have a quote-unquote real job full-time. I'm a UX, UI designer and developer. I have been for over a decade. And I will say that this job is a lot harder than that one, and that one pays far better. So these TikTok folks that are going to lose their money, a lot of them aren't making much to begin with, but it might be their best bet in contributing anything to society. Who knows? Who knows? It's not for me to judge. but I will judge this. Let me know your thoughts. Comment below. Please like the video if you had a good time. Subscribe if you haven't. Hopefully I see you next time. Take care.